with the final topic of the day, we'll be talking about the final games. Currently, it is 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. The Bucks and the Washington football team will be playing in about the next 20 minutes. And tomorrow's games, we start off with Baltimore Ravens versus the Tennessee Titans. Hey, 1:05 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Stay tuned. And then we have the
I'll probably still be asleep.
we have the Chicago Bears versus the New Orleans Saints at 4:40 p.m. Eastern. And then the final game, the Cleveland Browns, which they'll be facing off against their division rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who purposely lost to the Cleveland Browns, not letting the Miami Dolphins get into the playoffs at
That's what happened.
8:15 p.m. Eastern.
That's what happened.
I don't think that's how that went.
No. If it's his story, he's gonna spit it. So let him spit his story.
Staying with it, because if y'all would have got the job done, Cleveland would have been out of the playoffs. But anyways, y'all face the team that y'all are better off facing, which is the Cleveland Browns. So with that being said, we'll talk about the Baltimore versus the Tennessee Titans game rematch. Go ahead, Trey. You look like you ready to go ahead and pop it off. So let you go ahead and say what you got to say.
You ready?
Are we ready?
You ready?
You ready?
I'm ready.
I hope you ready. You got to think about this, man. It's like
I hope you're ready.
Last season, you guys were hot, probably the hottest team in football, arguably, because the Chiefs went under the radar last year. Surprisingly, nobody was talking about the Chiefs around this time last year.
Nobody at all.
Baltimore this, Baltimore that. Nobody saw that coming. The Titans, they beat the Patriots. That's a fluke. Tom Brady, he's lost it. He's washed up. All the chat that was going on, and then guess what? They came in there and that boy Derrick Henry, King Henry 2K. That boy came and put his foot in your ass. And this is not because of obvious reasons why I think this. It's just I said it when I picked the Titans to beat y'all earlier this year. It's one of those things. In the Titans, the way they're set up right now, it's kind of scary to me because you have to protect against the run, right? You can't just neglect Derrick Henry. He's not somebody who you're just gonna be like, oh, that's Derrick Henry. Like you're concerned. You know what have to do. But the thing is, if you've been watching what they've been doing lately, which is crazy, Ryan Tannehill has been doing a lot more like read option type things where Tannehill will keep it himself. And then not only that, what's really deadly for me is when they set up the play action because you got Corey Davis, who's finally came into himself because I was ready to call him a bust. I think if you would have asked me last year, I probably would have said he was a bust, honestly. Yeah, but he's coming to his own this year. And then you got the other one, AJ Brown. That boy is something different too. So it's kind of just like pick your poison. So it's like you can't really, which y'all have the DBs for it, but it's like you want to kind of stack the box for Henry, but you can't because you got these two boys on the outside if you do stack it up. So it's kind of like pick your poison. You want to get beat this way or that way. So on the opposite side of things, I've never liked y'all. I tell you every year, I'm like, y'all are like a real receiver away from probably doing something, which Lamar's going to try his best to do his Lamar thing, and he's going to ball out because you got to think about last year. The numbers he put up were crazy. Lamar, if you look at Lamar's number, I want to say he put up close to, I think he had at least 300 yards passing and over 100 rushing, and they still lost. So it's just like, as much as you want to say Lamar's going to take over and Lamar's going to be that difference, he needs some help. He needed help last year. He did everything he did everything he could do last year to have y'all win that game. And receivers dropping balls, tight ends dropping balls. It just he can only do so much. And I don't feel like the team has changed that much. Yeah, y'all got another back, fresh legs and everything like that. But I think what it's gonna come down to is I'm taking their offense over y'all offense. Is what I think is that I think that's really what's the difference gonna be. I trust his receivers to make plays that I'm not sure if in the big moment when y'all need it, if y'all receivers can step up to that. So I'm taking Tennessee for that reason, not because I hate the Ravens, but because of that reason. Because honestly, I would rather play the Ravens again versus play Tennessee right now, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm taking Tennessee.
Okay. Spence.
All right, camera on me. I'm gonna be 100 with you. I'm picking Tennessee. I'm not picking Tennessee because of Derrick Henry. No, I'm not picking that. I'm picking Tennessee because I want to see pain. I want you to feel pain, Vic. Why? Because you continuously meme me about this Dolphins every time. So now I want Tennessee. I want Derrick Henry to play Peters, Humphreys. I don't care in the spin cycle. I want you to feel pain. I want you to cry every time he gets the ball and he gets a first down every single time. I want you to feel pain. I don't want nobody to get injured. I want everybody to have a healthy game, but I want your team to lose. So you got to feel pain. So when you see the score of what happened, I'm going to meme you 24 hours straight. I'm talking about from.
Oh, I got some ready for you. We can trade.
Trust me, I have a folder ready to go. I'm talking about when I go to sleep, when I go wake up. Memes are just gonna come hour after hour. I'm going to make it painful for you. You understand me? But with that saying, I'm picking the Titans because I feel like their offense is still gonna come alive. You guys are probably gonna do what most is gonna help you, will help y'all most of the way with this comeback. But I just feel like in the second half they're gonna pick it up, and it maybe, but it's just offense, a better offense on the other side than the side you have, man. I just feel like it's just gonna be that. But that's my take. I'm picking the Titans.
All right. First off, I don't like your tone. You coming off too aggressive. I don't know what you got going on. Like, I would just say
I don't.
the Steelers.
I don't care.
Why the Dolphins
don't
ain't in the playoffs?
I don't care. I don't care.
You don't think it hurts me that y'all not in the playoffs? Like, I wanted y'all to go into the playoffs.
It doesn't look like it, sir.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like it.
Not at this point.
You
lost your feelings. Like you're done. Yeah, the whole 2021 is already set off because of Pittsburgh Steelers. But anyways, with that being said, I am obviously going for the Baltimore Ravens, and not being biased, but I honestly do feel the Baltimore Ravens will get this game done. Reason being, divisional round last year, Baltimore Ravens basically pretty much limped. We did have a hot start. We were balling all year round. Mark Ingram hobbled with that ankle injury. Mark Andrews was not Mark Andrews. He was hurt as well. So you take out, the top target for the Baltimore Ravens. Now the receiving core is definitely something of an issue. But Baltimore, we never really needed a number one receiver. We just need receivers to just do their job. We need the offensive coordinator to go ahead and just, use the receivers in their strengths more so than making them something they're not, which they were trying to make Hollywood the number one receiver. Obviously, Hollywood has shown he is not a number one receiver.
He's a good two. That's what I've been telling you. Y'all need one.
That's right. So the thing is, what I'm seeing from the Ravens is obviously Miles Boykin, Des Bryant has, kind of been in a mentor role of helping out Miles Boykin to being the number one, but he's not the legit number one.
If y'all go trade for a real one or
Again, I don't think the Ravens necessarily need a number one. What they need is to stick to what they're best at, which is run the ball. And they have that with J.K. Dobbins. My key to victory for the Baltimore Ravens is J.K. Dobbins having more rushing yards than King Henry himself. Sounds crazy. Sounds crazy.
I know.
You see
Listen, Vic, whatever. What I don't know if you do, but if you are smoking, whatever loud pack you have, I need that.
Just know, come time Tuesday when we're talking about this Ravens victory.
Oh, we're gonna find out which one we're getting.
Yeah, you're gonna find out.
Trey, either we're gonna see the pearly whites or we're gonna see them very disappointed.
But look, this is another thing. Last time we played the Tennessee Titans, obviously this offseason we upgraded our defensive line, adding Calais Campbell,
right?
Getting Yannick Ngakoue, and this is actually going to be the first time this year that Yannick Ngakoue, Calais Campbell, Matthew Judon, and the rest of the defensive line all healthy, playing at the same time. Last time we were dealing with the whole COVID. We had Calais Campbell was out. Matthew Judon, I think he was suspended. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was a suspension because of the, I think it was the Pittsburgh Steelers game. Oh, no, it was just during that game. But regardless, the line is healthy. Calais Campbell's there. We specifically signed him for this game to help out with the defensive rush game.
Oh, yeah, the trenches. Gotcha.
So with that being said, this is also a healthy Baltimore Ravens team. So I'm not going to really get into the statistics because at the end of the day, when it comes to these playoff games, regular season talk, all these numbers, throw it out the door. It comes down to whoever makes the least amount of mistakes. The small things matter. So obviously we know Lamar, his career record in the playoffs, 0-2. But it's just a different feeling. So I'm just going with my gut on this. And, I'm pretty sure last time I had the Titans winning, but if I didn't, I'm picking the Ravens on this one to get it done, to win this game. So that being said, anybody else have anything else to say?
Pain.
I feel you. Not this week. Maybe next week, but right now I don't feel you.
You're going to. Go ahead, I'm done. Go ahead. Moving on.
So next game we have is the Chicago Bears versus the New Orleans Saints. I'm gonna go ahead and just give you a quick update on that. The Chicago Bears, they have Roquan Smith. He's out for the game, and there's the receiver Mooney, the rookie for the Chicago Bears. He's also going to be out for the game, from what I read in the reports. And there's another player, but I can't say off the top of the dome. But I'm going with the New Orleans Saints, which with the Los Angeles Rams winning their game, if the Saints win tomorrow, the Bucs will be playing the New Orleans Saints, and the Packers will play the Los Angeles Rams. But I'm going with the Chicago Bears. I'd probably say 23-13.
Well, of course, the background. So Ray should tell you. I'm picking the Saints on this one. Don't really believe in Trubisky on this one. Yeah, cool. The whole Trubisky magic, like, maybe Trubisky's gonna be right. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice while it lasted. It was cool while it lasted.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the train stops here. So I'm picking the Saints on this one.
Okay. Trey?
Slant boy's been activated. AK's coming back. They ain't got no chance. Look, what people fail to realize is the Bears don't even deserve. Okay, maybe that sounds harsh. I won't say. Yeah, I'm not gonna say deserve. That probably sounds harsh.
Yeah,
this way. Relax. They had a win in your end situation last week and got their ass whooped. The only reason they're in the playoffs right now is because Kyler Murray got hurt and the Cardinals ended up losing last week. That's it. They had their fate in their hand and they blew it, really. They blew it. They're not even supposed to be here right now. Mitchell Trubisky is not the answer at quarterback. They should have never drafted him over Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. But somehow they're in the playoffs. Congratulations. You guys got a playoff berth. You got a t-shirt that says playoffs. Wildcard. Cool, right?
Defense.
You're about to get your ass whooped by the Saints just like you got your ass whooped last week by the Packers. I have no faith in them.
I'm skipping this game. I'm gonna be honest with you, gentlemen. I really
I want to see pain, like you said. Because earlier in the season when we were doing every week we would have our weekly power rankings and everything, right? Check this out though. I have a couple Chicago Bears fans who they would get on me and they're like, oh, how come we're not in the top 10, this and that? You guys are sleeping on us. Because earlier in the season, everybody's records, when people
of course
2-1 or 3 and it looks the same as the Packers. It looks the same as the Saints. It looks the same as especially when they beat the Bucks. Things like that. It looks the same, but then as the seasons go on, those Raiders start to show themselves. When the Raiders beat the Saints and the Chiefs earlier in the year, everybody was so high on them. I told y'all, they're not gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna find a way and fall off. And what do? They fell off. The Bears is the same thing. Yeah, they looked good in the beginning record-wise, but it was just like the Bears, nah. So that being said, I don't have much faith in the Bears. This might be one of the playoff games that kind of gets ugly, honestly. If any of them are going to get ugly,
is this
the Rams? The Rams one is what? They were up 10 last I just seen.
Yeah.
30 to 20. So it's like that's a 10-point differential. I'm talking about this one might get ugly.
Ugly?
The Saints defense has been playing at a high clip.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. Oh yeah.
And them getting Slant Boy back definitely helps that offense. And Alvin Kamara, he doesn't have to be that far off the line of scrimmage. Like he create the plays in the screen game. He can create plays running the ball, catching the ball, light up, wide out. It's just different when they have him. So that's going to be a dangerous team to want to see tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And they still have Taysom Hill with that whole package they bring in for him. As much as I like the defense of the Bears, you got to be able to score points, and I do not have any faith whatsoever in Mitchell Trubisky. Sorry. So taking the Saints by a lot. I can't even put a number in it, but it's going to be ugly. Give me the Saints. They're marching in.
All right. So I guess we're going on to the finale for the 8:15 p.m. Eastern game, where the Steelers will host the Cleveland Browns, who aren't supposed to be in the playoffs, but they are. So go ahead and let Trey kick that off, since his team let the Cleveland Browns get into the playoffs instead of the Dolphins.
Bro, that's not even, I don't know why you keep painting that narrative. That's not even how that happened. The Dolphins just didn't handle their business. I'm sorry. I love Miami.
They sure did.
They didn't handle their business. And Cleveland, they were the better men against not our full starters. They were 2 points better than our backups, in a sense. Hey.
You know how dismaying that is? That a team with most of their starters can beat the backups by 2 points?
Not most of they. I don't know who was out on their team. Honestly, not most of. They had to play their starters because it was win or you're in. Like they had to play their starters to. They had to play to win. I'm not saying that we went out there and threw the game. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know.
I'm saying,
but in his narrative,
I'm saying
in his narrative, you have
the
number. Go ahead.
The numbers Mason put up weren't too shabby. I mean, and he ain't no Big Ben. You could say what you want about how Big Ben's looked or hasn't looked, but
that's what I'm saying.
It's Mason and Ben is night and day as we seen last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We would have never got to that 11-0 stretch with no Mason Rudolph starting from week 1. But nonetheless, I think we know who I'm picking here. Picking the Cleveland Browns to lose.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's just going to be like a rout necessarily. They still have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I do respect those boys. They can tote the rock. If they get off to a good start running the ball, that does help take a lot of pressure off of Mason off of Baker. I apologize. So yeah, I mean they might as well be the same guy, but I guess Baker's a little bit better. But yeah, key things though. The key thing that I don't give the Browns as good a shot as they probably could have had. The guy who we said should have been coach of the year, Kevin Stefanski, he's not going to be coaching the game because has COVID. So and then the NFL's rules, there's no way to do it remotely or anything. They don't allow anything like that. So they have, I can't think of the dude's name off the top of my head right now, but he's their special teams coach. Okay. He's going to be actually calling the plays. And then it's kind of different to give you guys an example. Like, let's say in Tampa, let's say Bruce Arians were to get COVID, right? And he couldn't coach the game. It would be different for the Bucs from the standpoint that he doesn't necessarily call the plays because
Byron Leftwich.
Yeah, Byron Leftwich actually calls the plays, so it's different.
Yeah.
Stefanski calls the plays. He's the play caller for the Browns as well as the head coach. So it's totally different. This guy, so while he could give him some tips as to certain plays to call and situationally, sometimes when you're coaching, like you just have a feel for how the game's going on when to take a chance or when to make a challenge or when to do this or do that, that no matter if you watch this guy coach a million games side by side with him, you're not going to have his instincts. And I'm pretty sure Baker is it's going to be a different voice in the head for Baker from the sideline than what he's used to. Stefanski has been a big help in Baker's progression this year. And I think that's going to make a huge difference for how they do. But not only that, Olivier Vernon, he got injured at the end of the game against the Steelers last week. So they're going to be missing him, which he's only second on that team to sacks to Myles Garrett, which for obvious reason, Myles Garrett is a dog. But so that's going to hurt them as well. Nonetheless, though, for some positives for us, we're getting Eric Ebron back. He'll be back. Robert Spillane was just activated today, which I'm happy to hear that. We haven't had him since the Washington game. So he'll be back. We're pretty much at as close to full strength as we're going to get. I mean, obviously, no Bud Dupree or none of those guys, Devin Bush, but they're gone for the year anyway. So we have everything to lose, though, in this game. Ben is 22-2-1 against Cleveland at home all time. Put it that way. I mean, we just don't lose to Cleveland at home. Like, it's just not something that we do. But if they were to do it, I would never hear the end of it. But I just don't see it happen. So to make it a long story short, I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Okay. Spence?
to make a short story long, I'm taking Pittsburgh.
All right.
Well, that was it.
To make an even shorter story, I'm taking Pittsburgh as well.
Okay. Now before we end that, then I guess, damn, no respect to the Browns.
No.
I think that was more disrespectful than my take on the Bears. That what y'all just did was real disrespectful. Y'all don't even have no breakdown, no analysis.
Listen. It's one word, and it's because of one word and one word only. It's the Browns.
You can't say that. You're not even in that division.
It's cool. I mean,
you're not in that division. You can't say that. That's disrespectful.
All right, fine.
He's practically part of the family now. He's been hanging around us long enough, so he's pretty much like a real close friend that we consider family. So, that's
yeah. Listen.
You already said you picked the Steelers. You said you didn't have no dialogue for it. It's the Browns.
I don't. Cool. You wanted dialogue. He was like, that's disrespectful. You wanted dialogue. I was trying to give you dialogue.
No, look. I just want, speaking of dialogue or disrespect, I want to go to something that this fool posted this week, which was taken out of context, and people make a big deal and try to say it's going to be bulletin board material for the Browns. Juju Smith-Schuster.
Oh yeah.
In an interview.
I hope they come out with that fire.
And if you listen to how the question was even asked to him, it's a little different here. So they asked if he felt a different energy from the Browns, who obviously they ended their 18-year playoff drought or whatever, and he was asked if it was a different Browns team than what he's faced over the years. So, and this is the full quote, because there's a post that's went around social media that doesn't really tell the whole full story, and it doesn't provide context. So here's the context. So he said, I think they're still the same Browns that I play every year. I think they're nameless, gray faces. They have a couple good players on the team, but at the end of the day, the Browns are the Browns. It's AFC North football. They're a good team. I'm just happy we're playing them again. See, so the part that's going around here, the last two sentences I just said, that's not what's shown. So it looks a different way. It makes it sound a different way. Now people question the part about the nameless gray faces part, saying that might be disrespectful, but that's something kind of like what Tomlin often states that a lot, and it's to the sense of it doesn't matter who we're playing, more or less. They are nameless gray faces. If we do what we're supposed to do, it doesn't matter who's on the other side. So it's not necessarily looking at it in the standpoint of who's on the Browns team or who's on this person's team. They, at the end of the day, if we do what we're supposed to do, they are nameless gray faces. But, some people, like to try to stir the pot or try to create something more than what's there. But even if he did say it disrespectful, what are the Browns going to do to us? They are the Browns. Like y'all just disrespected them and said, y'all were more disrespectful to the Browns, like I said, than anything that I said about the Bears in my take, or what that quote that Juju made said.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is good luck, Charlie.
Okay.
Well, all I gotta say is I'm rooting for the Browns, but I don't expect the Browns to get it done.
No, here's the thing. The reason I say that. No, the reason I say that is like,
I got you.
But the reason I said it because I didn't know, like, Charlie's from high school is on the Browns, so good luck, Charlie.
Yeah. Charlie, yeah, he's a long snapper for the Browns. Shout out. He's a fellow Terrier, Hillsborough High School. Go Terriers.
Yeah.
So shout out to that part, but.
Hey, but good luck, Charlie.
Oh man, the Browns.
So since the Bills won, see, I was kind of pulling for that Colts upset though, because it would have switched the brackets. But I mean, if Yeah, either way, doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't matter now. I guess it switches things if the Titans win though for the seeding.
For what? What are you talking about? Like,
Because Chiefs have to play the lowest seed.
yeah,
I was saying in the ideal world that y'all would have won, we win. The Colts would have won, and then
we'd had a
we would
rematch,
have faced y'all,
divisional. Yeah,
and then the Chiefs would have went on to face who would that have been? The Colts.
The Colts.
but it's not gonna be that way, unfortunately. So
But from what I've seen from the Bills today, I like our chances in the rematch with the Bills. It wasn't really. I'm not saying it's sweet, but
they had a great game against the Miami Dolphins last week, which
yeah, like they just exploded against the
yeah,
Dolphins. It wasn't like
it really caused like a bunch of like just
I feel like over expectation and extra. I don't know, because they've been on a good run though the last month or so. So I can't discredit them too much, but they definitely looked a lot hotter against Miami than I think what they really are. Because I really don't like their run game. Zach Moss ain't it. Singletary ain't really it. Josh Allen might be their best runner, honestly.
honestly is. I would be surprised looking at the stats. I'm pretty sure he's the leading rusher for the Buffalo Bills. Would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Because both of them been injured most of the year.
Yeah.
Shit, even when they wasn't injured. Trust me, I had Singletary on my fantasy team, so it
didn't move a muscle.
Yeah, that didn't do me much good all year. But that's all I got. We're about to get into this Bucks game here. So the Rams finished their business. Obviously the Bills finished their business. We'll see what the Bucks do right now. Update to from which we talked about on Tuesday. Alex Smith will not be playing this game, so I expect the Bucks to
he's not
go out there and handle business against. I can't even pronounce his last name.
Heineke? Yeah.
Heineke. Okay.
Yeah.
Tyler Heineken versus the Tampa Bay Bucks tonight. So sorry, Mateen. I said I'd have you back once y'all won the Super Bowl. It's not looking like it's gonna be this year though, because looks like these Bucks are about to put in work against this backup. So
yeah. Right now it's 3-0. The Bucks are up and they just got a first down. Washington had a 3-and-out, so Tampa's driving the ball again.
Probably gonna have a lot of those tonight with Alex Smith.
Yeah.
But you guys have anything else, gentlemen?
No, I'm good.
All right. So this is the part where you know how this goes, right? So you heard what we had to say, right? So you can agree, you can disagree, but at the end of the day, all takes are valid. All right, boys.